Welcome to DMV Spotlight here in the nation's capital, where we shine a light on the issues impacting DC, Maryland, and Virginia. One of the most amazing nonprofits that we have here in the nation's capital is the Healthy Babies Project, and it surrounds young women and young families to help them be able to raise their families with the support that they need, helping the poorest district youth build stable lives. And joining us today, Jazmine Brazier. She is the Youth Services Director for the Healthy Babies Project. Thank you so much for joining us today on DMV Spotlight. So, Jazmine, tell us about the Healthy Babies Project. We know it's a private, not-for-profit, community-based support organization, but how does it work? How do you reach out to these young people who need help?
So, Healthy Babies has been around since 1991, and we've been in the community for so long, to be honest, that of course, with relationships with DC Public Schools and other community organizations that provide housing, that's usually where we receive a lot of the moms and the families who use our services. But because we've been around so long, a lot of our families tell their friends and their cousins and people in the community, hey, if you are in need and you're a young parent, to go to Healthy Babies. So we've really been honored to receive a lot of our new participants from people who've completed our program or lived in our housing facility beforehand. But other than that, we're all over the district with relationships.
That's amazing. And then obviously, let's go ahead and talk about that housing option since you brought it up. But you offer so many services for young parents, and it's not just young women, is it?
No, we also work with dads, anyone who is involved in the parenting of that young baby. We're able to provide services. We specifically work with teen parents, so any mom or dad under the age of 21 can receive all of our services. And you're right, we do have so many. We have a housing program where young moms under the age of 21 can live there for 90 days, and we really help them get the documents they need to move on and find long-term housing. We also have our parenting classes, which is for moms and dads, and we're lucky to also be able to provide those services in a few DC public schools, specifically their high schools, just talking to them about what does it mean to be a parent and co-parenting, and a lot of reflection so they can understand that their parenting style has a lot to do with how they grew up, and they can make that change that they want to see in their children. We also do case management, which is one-on-one for families, and we have a pregnancy prevention program for young people who are looking to not be parents quite yet. And that started because our parents were like, Jazmine, nobody taught me how to not have a baby. And so we really are big on that. We have 300 youth in that program. So we're just an all-around services agency.
And what does that particular service entail? What are you training young people in that?
Right. So we do workshops on not only preventing STDs or delaying pregnancy, but preparing them for career readiness. And we call it purposeful careers, guiding the young people in careers that they're interested in and following their passions, as well as being able to provide a lifestyle they need to live and have the things that they want in their lives. So we have guest speakers come to talk to them about money management, financial literacy, just overall health and wellness, mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual health. And so those young people can stay in our program until we have some that have been with us since they were 14 years old in high school, and now they're in their first or second year of college, because we just try to make sure that we're just reinforcing those elements that they've learned. And it's a lot of life skills, honestly, for those young people.
And that's amazing. And then for the children themselves, you even have programs for the little ones.
Yes, we, especially for those parents that are in our case management services or housing, we take the parents and the moms on trips. Of course, we have our Adopt a Family program, which is our annual Christmas program where people in the community can be that light of providing resources, whether that's gifts, toiletries, all the things that our families really need, especially around that Christmas time. And they also have the opportunity to meet them. So it's not just giving gifts to a stranger. We have an opportunity to have lunch with the families, and it's just really fun and just a great way for the community to connect with our families. And they really do need them. They're working hard to become stable, and this is just a big boost that they appreciate every year.
How does the Adopt a Families program work? What does it look like if people are listening today and saying, well, that sounds like something I would really like to participate in, or maybe something that they need? What is the best way for people to find out more? What does it entail?
So, if anyone is interested in sponsoring a family for the Christmas program, uh, they could contact me, and I'm happy to share my email is jbrazier, Brazier, at healthybabiesproject.org. We will send them a family profile. It's a letter from the family about who they are, what they're doing in their lives, where they come from, and what they need. And then toward the December 10th, which is our actual meet and greet, we will have a event at our facilities where anyone who has sponsored a family can come to. They have the opportunity to meet the family. We'll be playing games. There'll be music, and they'll exchange the gifts there. And also they can also call our agency at 202-396-2809 if they're interested in sponsoring a family. If anyone's interested in being a family, unfortunately at this moment it's only for the families that are receiving services with us.
Understood. And then you mentioned that Healthy Babies has been around. The Healthy Babies Project in DC has been around for some time. And so you have followed some of these young teen mom stories over the years. Have there been some that have stuck out to you, Jazmine, over the years?
To be honest, there's so many. And what we call success can look so many different ways because they come from so many different backgrounds. They come from homelessness, they come from repeated abuse, poverty. And so sometimes it can just be a mom has their own apartment and her children are healthy and thriving in school, and she is in college. We do have a few moms that are in college going to pursuing their degrees. And some of them have come so far that even just being them graduating from high school is an amazing accomplishment for them. So there's so many success stories, really, and we realize that behavior change takes a long time. Sometimes we think it can be instant, but sometimes it'll be 5 years from now and I'll get a call, Miss Jazmine, I graduated from high school, and I'm just as proud for them today as I was 5 years ago when they were really struggling and making those efforts to be a better person.
That's so amazing. And then now, do you still keep in touch with any of the little children? These teen moms, they're growing up, and their little ones are growing up as well. Do you keep track of any of those children?
Yes, we get all the pictures, especially around Christmas time and Halloween and special events. I'm always getting pictures of little people, and I have especially because I've been with the agency for a long time as well, that I have some families that I worked with when I just started, and their young people are, one, in first grade, and I was there at their birth. And so it's just great to stay in contact and be able to see the babies now, children, growing up and doing amazing things in school, doing well, learning, reading, writing, talking. Some of them just even speaking was a big journey for them as babies. So we definitely are able to see the children as well.
And then talk to me a little bit before we run out of time, Jazmine, about the how you work with these young dads and training and teaching them as well. They're such a critical part of these young families.
Yes. So we have a fatherhood program that's ran by Mr. Brown, and he is able to do both groups and one-on-one sessions with the dads and just talking to them about how being a father is more than a paycheck. It's about being present and, being a consistent face with your children. And we are also able to have moms and dads in our group sessions. Luckily, we do have a good bit of parents who, are still in relationships with their children's father. And so we really want to push that for all of the parents to either have great co-parenting relationships and understanding, even for the moms, how important the role of fathers are and what fathers can do when they feel like, what role do I play when they're a little baby, and how can I really be involved? And so they are taught how to hold the baby, how to, feeding, and how just putting a baby in the stroller and walking around and pushing them is you spending time, and that makes a huge difference in the long run.
Those are things that any new dad would need. I think the last question I have for you, which is so difficult to wrap our heads around, is just so many of these young moms have already been through so very much. Some of them are homeless. It's just really devastating that they're even starting out that way. So how important is the Healthy Babies Project support for these young moms?
It is crucial to be honest. We have young people that recently we've had some families of, a mom and her baby, they're on the street, it's getting cold, and where can they live? And it's not just housing. We can't throw up houses all over the place, although that would be great. But just those vital, essential things that we all need, toilet paper, socks, clothing. Those are not only with monetary donations, but things that the moms can need all the time. Of course, diapers and wipes for the babies, but even socks and shoes for them, because they grow out of the diapers and they become 4-year-olds running around. They need toys. So there's so many different ways to be able to give and support our agency, even consistent volunteers that can come and just talk to the parents, maybe cook cupcakes with them, and just seeing a consistent face also is a vital part. We are working to expand to have another building to hold not only 8 moms, but hopefully 20 moms in total. And so, of course, the monetary will be great to go toward the rebuild. But any way anyone can give would be greatly appreciated.
That's wonderful. Let me give the website. It's healthybabiesproject.org. I've been speaking today with Jazmine Brazier. She is the Youth Services Director at the Healthy Babies Project. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me today on DMV Spotlight. Thank you, and join us again next week at this same time for DMV Spotlight.